Crazy Work Podcast. This your host, Big Slim.
It's your host, AL a Legend. We got Shannell Murphy back in the building again. You know, the one and only. You know, let's get it.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here again.
I know that.
In a different space, like versus live, but it's still the same love. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So you enjoyed that 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
I got on the grill a little bit, and it was nice to have some time off. So I'm thankful. How about you guys?
Yeah, blessed. Chilling with the family, enjoying, just the time off from work and, just vibing out, enjoying that time.
Yeah, it felt like a Saturday for me. I'm being, it felt like a Saturday.
I think we drank a little too much.
It felt like Saturday. I was sober.
It felt like 2 Saturdays.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely had too many tequilas.
Because it felt like yesterday was Sunday for some reason. I'm like, what the hell going on? What the hell? Yeah.
So you said you logged on to Instagram with your phone going on crazy. You said 80,000 views.
80,000 views, y'all. I looked at that and I'm like, because I've looked at it before and it was probably like 20,000, and I was like, okay. And I felt like, it's gonna stop at 20, and then, a couple weeks later or a week or so later, we're already at 80,000, and I'm just
it's gonna keep
really
growing.
Excited. I'm like, oh my god,
that's major work. That's major work.
I'm Instagram famous. I'm just kidding.
And you know what though? Realistically speaking, me and bro, we didn't have this conversation before. Like, I kind of feel like Instagram is more older, like more business orientated, or couples therapy or something like that. Like it's more like structured.
Yeah,
with less ratchet type of activity going on. Yeah, I think so.
I definitely think it's a different demographic of people that are on Instagram versus like some of the other sites. So
yeah, but it's hard. Instagram is really hard to break through. So 80,000 on Instagram to me is like the comparison to 200,000 on Facebook.
I can see how that made you feel. Like you said, it's very hard, and 80,000. That's crazy work over what, one day? You said.
Well, no,
2
it's
days?
probably been maybe a week.
Okay, well that's still phenomenal. Yeah. For real.
Yeah, but I was telling my husband, I was like, I've been posting for like 10 plus years and I've never had anything. and let me tell you, I work my heart out with these posts. Like I'm overthinking it and like thinking it 3 times and trying to decide if I
tell
want to post
me about
it.
it.
And then I literally just posted that clip, not even thinking. I thought it was just going to be like all the other things that I normally post. And here we are at 80,000, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy work.
It's crazy work. Yeah.
Viral crazy. Sure. Yeah, let's go. That's what we want, though.
How was the engagement, though? Was people, like, I know for me, a lot of people was like, oh my God, that was a beautiful podcast. Her story was amazing. Like, we was getting that type of feedback. So how was it for you?
Man, I've had several people come to me and say, we actually watched the whole thing. And I'm like, I felt so honored, like for them to watch it. But I've had several people like send me a screenshot if like we'll come up on like their For You page or something, or we'll come up on their suggested watch shows for YouTube.
Okay.
And I'm like,
let's go.
But like people just reaching out. And so and even on the post, I've had so many people comment and ask questions, and I've tried to engage and like answer as many questions. And I was telling my sister, like it gave me an opportunity to think about it in a way that I haven't thought about it before. Because that's just my life and how I've lived, and it was normal for me, right? And so for people to be chiming in and talking about how abnormal it really was, or how really traumatic the situation was, I never even stopped to process it in that way. And
that's crazy.
I'm happy that I was able to put that out there. It's not anything that I was ashamed of, but it was really enlightening for me. And like I said, it gave me an opportunity to step back and look at it from a different perspective that I haven't had a chance to look at. So
that's great.
I'm glad. It's kind of therapeutic in a sense,
I'm glad you did that.
Because you kind of broke the barrier here as far as like the transparency and the openness. because, normally it's about, facts or, something dealing with something, maybe street or something like that. So to have a natural, wholesome story that other people perceived a certain type of way opposed to how you looked at it because you actually lived it and that's your life. But like we said, the conversation we had before is like, that you're telling your story is helping somebody that might be going through it now or that done been through it and never spoke about it, or to see things different because they might feel like they can't make it or be successful, and you here to show them that you can.
Yeah, you really showed people like, your story resonated with a lot of people that really didn't think that of you, you know what I'm saying? That kind of showed you how people really looked at you when you put your story out there. Now everybody's like, yo, that was great because they learned something from that. That was great for us as well. So a win is a win, Oh,
yeah. And I had so many people. I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words, but I had so many people say, I didn't know you were going through that, or I didn't know you went through that, And so I guess that in itself just was like, wow, like God really covered me and protected me during that. And it's true what they say, like, you don't look like what you've been through sometimes.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Like people just had no idea, and it, like I said, it just opened up so many things for me to think about. Because at one time I'm like, man, like, where were people to help? Because even like some people in my family were like, they just kind of thought it was normal, like they just knew me and my cousin lived together. They didn't, and I don't know if they even processed it because everybody was going through their own stuff,
Yeah.
When I look back and I think about it, everybody was going through something.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And everybody had their own stuff to deal with. And so,
you're right.
But yeah, it was, I'm excited that I was able to share that. And I've had people say that they would like to hear more about my story, and I've enjoyed sharing. So 80,000 is incredible for me. Like I was saying, like I've posted for 10 plus years, and you could probably go back and look at all the engagement I've had over all my posts, and you probably couldn't get 80,000. So
man, I love it. I love it. So when you gonna write the book?
Okay.
So
that should follow up. That's a follow up.
We definitely need you back in here. The energy was amazing, for real.
I would love to be back in.
Oh,
you guys I love this platform. I think you guys are doing a really great job with it. And
thank you.
Like I said before, I think you're going to change some lives with this podcast. So thank you guys for using your platform to do good.
How do you do it?
Yes.
That's love.
Yeah.
That's love, for real. That's love.
I like that. I think bro wanted to ask you something, though.
Yeah, we were just going to get into a few little things, I don't want to be so political about things, but I would like your take on the big beautiful bill thing that's just been passed, and just how you feel about that thing. But let's get into the video of what Jeffrey's gonna represent, Democrat Jeffrey's gonna say, and you can go from there after that if that's fine with you.
Okay.
All right, gonna get into this video, Isaiah. All right.
You used your magic minute, which is historic, during the spending bill debate this week to deliver the longest House floor speech in U.S. history. For anyone who's missed the full 8 hours and 45 minutes, can you tell us tonight what's wrong with this piece of legislation?
Well, great to be with you, Rev. Thanks again for having me on. The one big ugly bill hurts everyday Americans and rewards billionaires. It's the largest attack on health care in American history. More than 17 million people will lose their health care as a result of this one big ugly bill. It will end effectively Medicaid as we know it. Hospitals will close, nursing homes will shut down, community-based health clinics won't be able to operate. And as a result of the fact that so many people will not be able to get access to health care, folks are going to die all across the United States of America. And for those who have private insurance, premiums, copays, and deductibles are likely to go up for millions of Americans. But it also represents the largest cut to supplemental nutritional assistance in American history.
Yeah, how we get up back on that screen. Okay, yeah, like, what's your take on that? Like, for real?
I'm going to be honest. I have not researched the bill and I haven't read it in its entirety, but
Yeah, me either.
I've heard people talking about it, and it's clips like that just breaks my heart because based on what I understand, it's like the low and middle class people are going to be the ones that are most affected, right?
That's what I got.
The rich people are going to keep getting rich, and the rest of us are just going to keep doing the best that we can to make it. And so it's really, really sad. And I don't know enough about politics to like chime in, but I know enough about humanity to say
Yeah, that's
that,
all I wanted from you.
yeah, like people are going to be hurting, right? People
Because
are
we all
really
have
going to be hurting.
families that's in certain
Yes.
predicaments and situations is going to be affected by this, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, and
Even
it's a
us,
lot
you
of
know.
people that need it, right? Like even like just going back to the story that I shared, my brother, my family, we had Medicaid growing up, we had
Yeah.
food stamps growing up,
Yeah.
we had free lunch growing up, and so it's some families that actually really, really need those things, right? And so those people are gonna continue to just suffer even more, and I just it blows my mind that we're even here.
Yeah,
It
right.
blows my
Yeah.
mind that the people that are sitting in the White House are sitting in the White House making all these decisions that are going to affect all of our lives in such big ways,
Egregious.
And so it's another thing when people are talking about getting out to vote, and we have to take it back to the voting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I honestly, with my whole heart, do not feel like the American people voted for this as a whole. I
Nah.
feel like the election was rigged, and that's how I feel about it. But I don't. I
I
don't have
agree.
the words because it's really heartbreaking. Like I said, it's people that are going to need that, and they're not going to have it access to the things that we need.
You know, especially the children who have special needs and need those benefits that, you know, a lot of them gonna not make it through this. Even the elderly people
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
like, you know, I think about my grandmother and my aunts and stuff like that. So, you know, that's more time that I have to feel like, you know, we have to try to do something to help them in these situations. It's just gonna be a lot, like you said. So.
But see, like, to chime in, like, I kind of agree with you, Shannell. Like, knowing about humanity, not politics, you kind of look at things a little bit different.
Yeah.
But, like, the flip side of it, I feel like now, with things going on, the people that's consciously aware of the things that's going on, first and foremost, I feel like that's time for people to, like, really kind of unite and be like, look, well, we need to get planned up for this. Let's try to do this. Like, we got to start thinking different. You know what I'm saying? Like, that push a guy further. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
true, bro. But it's kind of like, you know, we kind of seen a lot of this, and it's like now we want to kind of like advocate for it because now that it's done happening, you know, I'm not saying it's too late, but we're just like, we're kind of late on arrival with trying to do this at this point, you know. That's how I feel about it.
Everybody's super late. We've been lackadaisical
Yeah,
for the
for
longest.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Everybody, like you said, going about their natural life, normal life, thinking that this is how it's supposed to be, and things is changing. People ain't aware of it, and then when it hits you in the face,
at the blink of an eye, it's changing.
Because they're moving with everything at a rapid speed. Everything's at a rapid speed. Now, you hear about it, the next thing you know, I don't know how long it takes to pass a bill, but I thought it had to have stages and things of that nature. But, you know, you got people that know loopholes.
What's this? Like, this is his fourth. No, Trump's been in office, what, 6 months now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 months.
And look what we're dealing with each and every week and month with this guy. But, you know, I'm not trying to be political. Like you say, I'm just trying to be aware of how it's going to affect us as humans and how we need to have our mind focused on the right things.
Yeah,
you know?
facts. But them hard conversations, though, at the end of the day, them was hard conversations that people might overlook and then still be hit, like, shocked, like, oh, I thought I was supposed to get $700 for
It's
food stamps this
and
month.
it ain't coming.
But now I only get 140 and I got 5 kids. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that or why am I getting this letter saying that I no longer have a house in housing authority, or my vouchers doesn't cover and I gotta pay? I was paying $400 or $800 a month. Now I got to pay $1,900 a month. I might only make $17. Those are the things that's gonna hit home when it actually hits home. Nobody's gonna listen to the TikTok.
And the healthcare is way more important as well, because You know, you have other countries that have free healthcare, free education, or whatever, bro. Over here in the United States, bro, we pay so much. We're one of the richest countries. Why don't we have those things in place for people like, us American people?
I agree.
Basically.
Free healthcare, free school, all of that's across seas. You know what I'm saying? It's across seas. It's a different, but they deal with things that we don't deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look at how social media is, and you can just click on the phone and see a war that's going on in Russia at the drop of a dime. We don't go through that. You get what I'm saying?
We don't.
We're not going to have to worry about walking outside and a nuclear bomb or missiles and all. We don't have to worry about that. So
but
I
it
guess
feels like that tension. It feels like we're gonna have to worry about that at some point. The way things are going, that's how I feel. You know, like. Because you say we don't have to, but look what's being taken away after what's being built. After all these years, America has built, try to get away from the racism, try to, create these programs to help black communities, help black people, but they're taking that away, and it's going to be even harder because they're not going to have a direction or a plan when it comes to it being taken away,
Yeah, one thing I could say about black people, we've gone through a lot of things, and we've learned how to fight through the worst of times, right?
Yeah.
Like we've been able to be a resilient people and be able to, face a lot of adversity, and we've been able to come out of it, and this is not going to be anything different. We'll just have to do what we know how to do, is fight, and we know how to get through some things, and this is one of those things that we're just going to have to keep fighting and get and do the best that we can to get through it. I was saying the other day, like, Black people, we need to come together and
learn to stick together better.
Yeah, and be together, stick together, and be more of a community, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even when you think about housing and stuff, like I was talking to my sister about multi-generational living again, like being able to put resources together and families living together.
Yeah.
But that's something that we don't often do, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we culturally, that's, we want to do it ourselves and we want to be so independent. But I think we have to get back to all the basic things, like being a community and like creating resources and creating jobs and stuff for ourselves and helping each other, Yeah, it's going to get really hard. It is going to get really, really hard.
Not to cut you off, I was seeing where they said family reunions in the black community and dropped, like, I think they said like 49% or 79%. It was one of those two numbers. But if you look at it, how many family reunions do you actually see? Because it's unresolved issues from older folks. So I don't like your auntie and I don't like your uncle because they did this and they did that. And we harbor those things. And you might not have seen a family member for 10 years. Nobody's calling nobody, checking up on nobody. They let life so much. You know what I'm saying? Like life is so much that you forget you even have family. You got the younger generation that don't know nothing about their great grandmother. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even know that they have like family that could potentially be your cousin or something. And you could end up in a relationship with that person just because of certain little things like that we don't have in our community anymore. I mean, some of us do, but it's not as big as it used to be,
Yeah.
For real.
But think about how powerful we can be when we are all together. When we can be together.
Right.
Like the force and the power that that we could have if we just learn to work together and be kind and like you said, put all that petty stuff behind.
That's it.
Because now more than ever, I think we need each other, and we're gonna have to find a way to get through this together. Yeah, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
I look at like how you said the power of real estate, right? You look at it like you got more ethnic people that's in real estate now, that's investing, that's buying, that's selling. You know what I'm saying? And you got more people that's trying to get back to, well, I'm going to say some people are trying to get back to a more wholesome part of living. You know what I'm saying? Like big functions, community functions and things of that nature. It is hard because you got some people that's going to be resistant with the negative thinking, you know what I'm saying, or pessimistic minds. You get what I'm saying? So trying to have that level of optimism, you got a certain side of people that know that there's a beauty in all of us. There's a power in people of color, you know what I'm saying, whether it's black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Indian, it doesn't even matter. But community is community, because if you in the same neighborhoods, you don't look at color like that. You get what I'm saying?
I don't. I look at the person's heart, when it comes to a community. Because we all need each other, not just the black, but, all of us need each other in some way,
Yes. And I think we need to get back to that mindset or get to that mindset. A community is community and it doesn't have a color, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't
That's
have a
right.
color.
That's right.
We're
That's
all
right.
we're all striving for some of the same things, if not the exact same things, you know? We all want to be happy. We want to have peace. We want to have a piece of the American dream, whatever that looks like. Like we all want that. And so being able to work together and help each other and like you said, not even look at color because that's not important. It's just helping each other get to where we all want to be.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely
That's
with it.
well said.
I learned from so many different people. It doesn't even matter what it is. Like financial literacy, I'm so on that because I didn't know nothing about that. You know, coming from the background that we come from, you make your money, you put it in your shoebox, you count it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you don't know nothing about credit. And or if you do get a credit card, you're like, oh, I got a $5,000 limit. I'm going to get some Balenciagas. Get the, you know what I'm saying? You want to get the $500 pair
you don't
of
pay
jeans.
it back.
You get what I'm saying? Because we think you don't pay it back, or you grow up and you thought you got credit, but you already got bad credit because your moms they had cable in your name, and you know back in the days the phone bills in your name. So it's like trying to break all of that to where we get now, and it's like we got people like you, Jamie, you know what I'm saying, Stephanie, you know what I'm saying, like people that Joe Rooker that learned the hardships real early. Like, well, I went through this real quick, so I learned financial literacy through going through my own hardships, and then you want to teach somebody else. I think that's so beautiful
shout
because
out to Joe Rook, man. My boy stopped in and checked me out. The boy said he done mastered that credit thing, and my hats off to you, brody. Do your thing.
Yeah, but you know, like, just to have that mindset, I know I speak a lot with my son because he's like, oh man, I want this, I want that. And I'm like, man, if you could utilize credit right with your job, you can get all of that. You don't have to go out there and hustle to get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to break no rules and laws and all that to get it. You can actually get it rather quick if you get a job and manage your credit right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any kids at the moment. You better get all this while you can. You know what I'm saying?
That's the beautiful part right there.
So it's just like, it's an eye-opener for me because now I know how to really like conserve and save and just changing like the trajectory, like my thought process basically, because it's like I'm seeing what's going on. So it's like I need to really prepare myself. It's only 24 hours in a day, so it seems like you can't do but so much in a day, especially if you have family at this point in time.
But you can.
Yeah, so I just feel like I don't know. It's gonna. We definitely gonna get there though. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna get there.
We are, and it's. It breaks my heart. I posted a video the other day, and I didn't even. I posted it, and I thought about like, oh, what people are gonna say, because it wasn't for sympathy, but it was really because I had a moment. It was twofold. It was about kindness and us like being kind to each other and showing love, right? Because we're all going through something. Right?
Everyone, we
everybody. I don't care who you are. We're all going through something. We're all fighting battles that people don't know about. And, you know, I always say social media is not really a real place. So you
it's not.
say somebody, it's not real.
I agree.
You know, like, and so I just posted something about being kind and loving each other and just, you know, if you can find it in your heart to say something or do some kind for somebody, it goes a long way.
It really does.
Because it is like we're living in such hard times right now.
It is.
And I can't say it enough, but we all just need each other and we could be so much better together.
It took me a minute to find myself to get in that space, like, you know, coming from where I come from. Not saying I'm just this angry, aggressive person. It's just that, you know, when you dealt with so much, you kind of not really take a liking to everyone like that. But, you know, as me learning how to communicate and be kind and all of those things opened up more, you know, communication for me with people. And I kind of thrive on that at this point. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at Shannell smile like, I see you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you put it out there, so I wanted to say that, and that's true work.
True. I got to applaud you on that. You have lightened up a whole lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? You lightened up a whole lot.
Sure.
My guy ain't smiled in 2 years.
I smile. Yeah. It's just what I'm smiling about, you know.
Facts.
If it ain't funny, it ain't funny, you know.
That's going on the caption. If it ain't funny, it ain't funny.
No.
Oh man. So what you got planned? What you got lined up now? You trying to top that 80,000 or what?
Yes, I'm trying. But no, I honestly try not to get caught up in all that because honestly, like it could be good one day, and then next day it's like, hey, what happened? You know, and
Yeah.
so you'll start chasing something, and I'm trying not to get down that rabbit hole, but I'm just, doing me. I'm taking care of my kids, and I'm working, and real estate is really slow right now, and I'm looking
Yeah.
for clients, and I'm actually at a point with it right now is like just trying to reevaluate if I need to have something else to supplement my income, because
Okay.
to be fully transparent, like, I'm not making the money that I was making at one point, and it's because of the economy and because of the market, right? Everybody's scared.
Yeah.
Everybody is uncertain about what's going to happen. People are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes, and now we got this healthcare thing that we got to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And so
Oh yeah.
that affects the real estate market a lot, right? And I've heard a lot of people say that jobs aren't hiring either, right? And so people are being laid off. There's not a whole lot of job opportunities. People are losing their homes, and so I'm just in a place right now where I'm like everybody else, just trying to figure it out, because
Yeah.
it's not all good, and I've said that before. It's not all great,
It's
and
not.
it's not all perfect, and so real life, I'm trying to do what everybody else is doing, trying to figure it out.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you keep
we
your
do.
head up.
We do the same thing over here. You got to
Yeah.
think when people like you said, everybody's going through something. Like when we was here together, birthday, we got the podcast. I come in here with the broke toe. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get it done. You got to get it done, and then that leads to
Yeah.
healthcare. If I don't go to work, I've been going to work on the broke toe for the longest. You get what I'm saying? I better not
Yeah.
call OSHA either.
So you gotta
know what I'm
make a
saying?
decision, bro. You know?
Yeah, but it's like if I miss a day with all my insurance coming out and all this other stuff, I know I gotta go to the doctor appointment. I gotta have this. I gotta have it. We gotta pay the studio bill. We gotta pay the
That
rent. You know what I'm
affects you,
saying?
though.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
what do I gotta do? I'm sitting there looking for part-time jobs at home. All I need is a computer and a headphone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bell South. Let me stop.
Yeah, something, bro.
Something.
You know?
It's hard. It's definitely hard. You got to look forward and be able to see that. I think like having a contingency plan, a lot of people don't plan. Like you and Jamie spoke about emergency funds and things of that nature. Those are things that we try to put out there to the public. If you're not on that, then hopefully you can get on that. But you got to have that mindset to look like, damn, I can see where this is going. This might affect something. What do I need to do? And prepare myself now. I can't wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's still talk. And that kind of goes back to what we were saying too, like us coming together and putting our ideas together, like
Oh, yeah.
brainstorming, putting our resources together, putting our money together
Yeah.
to figure out something that works for us as a community.
As a
Right?
community,
Because
we
we
need
can't
it.
depend on the government, because we see the government only care about the rich people right now, right?
Yeah.
And so the rest of us, we got to figure out, come together as a community and put stuff together and put things in action, and brainstorm some ideas that's going to
That's
help
true.
everybody
Yeah.
to generate money and wealth for everybody,
What
for
if we
each
had?
other.
Yeah, what if we had our own community stores like they did back in the day? We had our own independent banks. We had our own independent schools. You get what I'm saying? And it's the right way.
And it's the support thing too, you know, like
Exactly. You
okay,
said
you
a big
know,
one.
we can build in a community, but are people really willing to like genuinely support you like they should, as you want to do with them? And I think that's where we kind of deter with one another in the black community, because they feel like once a person gets more than what they have, then here comes the hatery or the buffoonery or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, why can't we just stick together like the Mexicans and all the rest of the, you know, nationalities that like help one another? They, like you say, they'll stay in one. It'd be 10 of them in one house,
but
The
they
next
pay
thing
for
you
that
know,
house.
Everybody else has a house in the next.
Yeah, they
2
pay for the
years.
house. They got the big
You
trucks.
know,
I
it's a
salute them, man.
beautiful
I
thing.
want to be
salute
from
that.
Guadalajara. What is it?
I mean, I'm not talking down. I'm just being real.
For real. I like around the corner from our house, is a Hispanic family that bought the house. They bought this house probably like 7-8 years ago. And it was a small house, right? They probably paid like $100,000 for it. But in the last 6-7 years, and they probably all do construction, like they
Yeah.
can all build and stuff. They have built, when I tell you this house is incredible, like they have built this house They have added on to this house. They have like a little yard in the back where they've cleared it off, and they have a soccer field back there.
Man.
They have like this detached garage. They fenced the whole thing in. They completely made this a community, and I drive by all the time and see big like construction trucks because it looks like they all work in construction. But I drive by it, and every day I'm like, man, like if we could do that, like it's such an incredible thing to see.
Is.
Like from seeing it at start when it was like on sale for $100,000 to seeing it now, it's got to be $1 million. All the stuff that they put into it, and just 6 years, and then they all work together, and it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm picturing now, like
it's crazy that they, and so if we could just have a portion of that, and be a portion of that together and help each other, it's like we would really be unstoppable.
I'm telling you.
We always stand in our own ways. Like we're always.
You said it right there. We stand in our own way. Because like, what's stopping us from reaching this point? What's stopping us from really reaching this point? Like, to just have our own. Like, there should nothing be wrong. I think, like, nowadays, if you look at the generation that's coming up that's in school, they don't want to be nothing but rappers and singers and ball players, sports players, or models, or influencers, Instagram models. You know what I'm saying? And you don't hear about people like, even like with tailoring clothes and know, connoisseurs, or what is that, haberdashery. I'm trying to get them big. You know what I'm saying? But like, or you don't see nobody say, I want to be a farmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to grow up, I want to have, they ain't talking cows and chickens, but, or even auto mechanics, like auto mechanics is probably all 40, 50, maybe 30 now. There's nobody I don't see too many kids, 12 years old, trying to go over there with their pops and their uncles twisting wrenches. You get what I'm saying? Like,
unless they come from,
a structured family, but for the majority.
But in our community, I don't see a lot of that anymore.
Yeah, you don't even see kids at the basketball court where we at. You know what I'm saying? They're not even playing basketball or walking, riding bikes, and you know what I'm saying, in groups or whatever. But like, I think it's just going to take us really to, like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will happen. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But just to get to that point, where we like, hey, I got a construction company, or I've got a wiring, I got a plumbing company. Well, let's get together. You know what I'm saying? I got some land over here.
Community grocery stores, all type of things,
That's what. Okay, shout out to my sister Mildred.
Okay.
She had this. She came to me and she was like, I have this big dream and this big idea, right? And so she was saying that she wants to create a community where everybody in the community has a trade or something that they can contribute to the community, right?
Yeah.
So it's exactly what you were saying, like farmers that could be responsible for farming and growing the food, and then like having our own grocery stores and having like electricians and having construction workers and having just like this community full of people that can. And everybody in the community contributes.
Got something
in their
you
own
would
special
never
way,
have to leave
right?
that community at all. You would never have to go anywhere,
You wouldn't have to leave, and all the resources stays in the community, and everybody
and the money
works
as
and
well
contributes to that community, right? It's a beautiful idea,
it is.
And there's
Really.
people that do it. I don't know how you start that, but that's the dream that she has, and I think it's such a great and beautiful thing, because I think a lot of us would want to live in that kind of community.
I definitely would. With no HOA.
We all have our strengths.
None at all.
We all have our own strengths, and we can all contribute in a very special way.
Yeah,
So.
that's a beautiful. Shout out to Mildred and that beautiful dream.
Yeah.
Let's put that in action. Let's try to work on
We're
that.
gonna call that Mildred's big beautiful dream.
Yeah,
The big
that's
beautiful
what
bill.
it
We got
is.
the big beautiful dream.
Yes.
I like that for sure. But Shannell, we got to shout out Jharris Investments. Safe, secure, affordable housing, building up the community one house at a time. Got to definitely shout the sponsor out.
Shout out to Jay Harris. Yeah, and shout out to you again for being one of our great guests on the show.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I can't wait to come back.
I can't wait for you to come back.
Sure.
Yeah, whenever. I told you whenever. You got the keys.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, thank y'all for having me on today. I know it was
Spurring
kind of
them on.
short notice. Yeah, but I'm so happy to be here.
But I was
and,
like,
and hopefully we keep racking those numbers
Yeah,
up.
let's
I
go.
know it, man. Shout out to all those people that was sharing that message. You get what I'm saying?
Go share this. Go
Yes.
like this. Go subscribe to this. Let's get
Tap
it.
in.
Yes,
Hopefully you get
thank
some
you.
clients. That's what I'm looking for, like audience engagement with somebody like, hey, do you have a house available? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah,
Or-
I thank everybody. I thank you guys, like, again, for having me. I thank everybody who's commented, everybody that's posted it, everybody that's shared it. Everybody that's commented and asked questions. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Oh yeah. Appreciate you. I'm gonna wish you a happy Sunday, Shannell. I appreciate you tapping in with us.
Until we catch it again,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Thank you guys.
Love.
Yeah,
All
love.
right. Bye.
Peace.
It was beautiful.
Man.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have her on the show.
Oh yeah,
bro.
man. She is very, very positive and upbeat, man. The energy is just, I can't say nothing but amazing, bro. For real. Shout out to Shannell Murphy. Y'all tap in with us. You got the Airbnb jumping, real estate jumping down there in Atlanta, the Atlanta area, Fulton County. So, hit her up. Of course, hit Jay Harris up, Statesville area, Iredell County, Troutman, Mooresville, Statesville.
Support. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Man, I just wanted to, I don't even know after that segment
That was a good one.
Y'all don't even want to bring up the alligator Alcatraz now. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them gators.
Yeah, just don't get caught slipping.
Yeah,
That's all.
man, for real. If it's just wild though, man, bro. Alligator Alcatraz, man. Like you said, it's been 6 months, and the shit that he is doing is crazy,
Terrible.
crazy, man. But what you want to do, man?
Yeah.
I think that was pretty dope.
We just gonna wrap it up, and we gonna maintain and keep our head above
I
the
know
water.
that keep your head above water,
Let's
man.
get it.
Listen, if y'all want to tap in, what y'all think, man? Should we start building our own communities or what? Is that something that y'all be interested in, like on some real shit? Like, I don't want to say real shit. Excuse me. Real talk, though. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, hit the share button, follow, man. Leave some comments in the comment section.
Yeah, let's get it, y'all.
That's a dope idea.
Educate yourself and get better at your life, way of living. Let's get it. Let's go.
All right, salute.
This is Crazy Work Podcast.